On the track.
All right, so faithful God from Eugene Zuta, and I have the man himself with me. Very humble, but he's very straight to the point. So, yeah, to have him today, he will hit on some serious issues I want to find out. So I know he's ready for that. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having
how
me.
How has the year been, 2019?
Oh, 2019 I've started quite smoothly. I've been normally in the background and seeking the Lord, learning of Him for myself, and then asking directions for what He would want us to do as a team and ministry for the year. So the fruit of the first quarter of prayer and deliberation is what we have released to catalyze the ministry for the entire year. So this is just the beginning for us.
Yeah. The last time I spoke to you, I don't know if you recall when Global Revival, they were releasing their song. You told me you were not ready for, you were planning not to do something, but you are not ready for the media. So we want to find out if now you're ready for the media.
Yeah. As against I'm sitting, I drove here. So I came because I'm ready.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Your name Zuta. Which part of Ghana bears that name?
My name actually should be mentioned with an accent on it. Okay. Zuta.
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 Okay.
With an accent on it, which means that the earth that will be used to bury me is finished. So I can't die.
This is serious.
Yes.
You have
it's a Dangbe name.
Okay.
The story goes like my ancestors, one of my great-great-grandfathers or something, used to have his children dying when they when we were giving birth to. So after a time, we call something Bebabie, when like somebody who is dead and has come back.
Okay. Yeah.
So now I give you a name that is supposed to ensure that you don't die again. So the earth that will be used to bury you is finished.
So which earth will be better?
So you can't die.
You can't die again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, very powerful.
I know there's an Ebe variant to my name also. So I consider myself a Ga and then an Adangbe and an Ebe.
Okay.
Because I live at the other side of the Zuta River.
Oh, okay. We have faithful God. Yeah. Tell us about it.
Well, so faithful God is a declaration of my faith in a God who is faithful. I say that faithfulness is not just one of the values we should ascribe to God. It's actually one of God's core nature, without which God does not continue being God. You see the clouds, they can move at any time. They are not stable. But they can depend on God. That anytime they change, there's a God they can rely on. So God is such that in the midst of all your challenges and your storm, He's like the rock that is firm that you can hold on. So this is a simple song that I want anybody who listens to it, the heart to follow and know that in whatever circumstance they find themselves in, God will remain faithful. Simple.
Wow. Wow. So how are you promoting this song? Because there's a lot of message in there, and I think it needs to get a lot of people to understand this. Yeah.
Yeah. So
because lately people are really giving up quickly.
A lot of people are quickly, is even people who've been work with the Lord for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so for the first time in my life, this is my first out-and-out single I've produced. And for the first time, I've really been out promoting this work.
Okay.
Because not necessarily because I want anyone to listen to a song or to hear a nice voice or something, but I identify what you are saying, that a lot of people are giving up on the Lord. And
because there are instances, someone even asked me, I've been paying tithes, but at the end of the day, I don't get what the scripture is saying, so I want to give up on it.
I think most of the time it's not the God, but it's the wrong teaching. That is the problem. You see, God in His sovereignty knows what is good for you and me, and so He expects us to trust Him at every point in time to know that He is God. He will do what He says He will do. He's not subject to your timing or my timing. God not answering a particular request at a particular time does not change His character.
Okay.
So whether He answers anything or does not answer anything, it does not change His character. But according to Romans chapter 8, verse, I think, 20, it says that for we know. For we know. We are not now going to know. Because of His grace and His faith and the Holy Spirit shed in us, for we know that all things, not some things, all things work together for good. For them that love God and are called in accordance to His purpose. Therefore, if I have come to the Lord and I love him, I should know that all things, the pluses and the minuses, all together, when you put them together, naturally, if the negatives are more than the positive, you get a negative outcome. But in the Lord, no matter the negatives or the positives, they will all come to a finitely positive value on our lives.
I want to ask, are you working alone or you have a management you work with?
I have a management team I work with to a large extent. I have a team in charge of promo. I didn't used to have that.
Okay.
And I have a management team, but it's more of me and my friends.
Okay.
You know, but I personally have some certain challenges when it comes to out and out management and things, because apart from it being an industry, it's also a ministry.
Okay.
So what I've been trying to work on for the past few years is balance. How to balance so that the ministry will be sustained and the industry will be sustained and the ministry will also not lose its value.
So how long do you intend to promote this particular song? Do you have any other song coming next, or you want to just take your time, deal with this, after that you go to the next one?
In actual fact, I wish I could release a new song tomorrow morning. But I like you said, the environment and the season in which we are, there's too much discouragement.
Yeah.
I want this song to seep into people's hearts. And then after that, maybe in the next 6 months, we'll release the next song. The next 9 months, the next song. To the glory of God, I can actually release a song a month for the next 5 years.
Wow.
Yes.
That's how blessed you are.
That's how blessed the Lord has
blessed you. But anyway, there is one thing I checked and I want to find out your take on it. Your name, the title of the song, Faithful God.
Yeah.
I know Willie and Mike also have a song titled Faithful God. Wouldn't there be any clashes?
No. There's not necessarily any problem.
Okay.
What the difference is, one, Faithful God by Eugene Zuta. You can go to the net and check Faithful God. You see 1,000 songs named, entitled Faithful God. The difference is who sang them and the person's revelation of what the faithfulness of God is like. Yes.
Wow. You decided to leave your 12 years of teaching career to do music. But beside music, are you doing any other thing?
For now, in the season in which I am as a person, what the Lord has instructed me to do for a while is to do the music. I started music in school when I was in University of Cape Coast for a number of years. When I completed, I used my degree to teach for 12 years. I've never really given time to my music as a person. So I'm doing that for a season. And I'm saying a season, it means that there is a transition I'm going through. So the next time you may hear that I've gone back to school and I have a PhD in something else that has nothing to do with music. But whatever I choose to do, this ministry will be a major part of it.
All right, so I have a message here from TJ. He says, ask Zuta, when is he coming back again with his annual event in Kumasi? The other edition at
Oasis of Love.
Oasis was awesome and filled with inspiration. Greetings from the Stars TV crew, especially Kwesi Sunday. So when are you coming back with
I mean, Stars TV and the guys we are a big family. I was with them in Takwa this weekend. We had a good time. Tell them like they would know. They would know the response soon.
We'll communicate it to them later. All right, but we have some few minutes to go. I want to find out from you. You've done more than 10 years in What is your greatest experience, and what is the most shocking thing you've come across? These are two questions.
I think the greatest experience in terms of, is it positive or like?
Both positive and negative.
I think my greatest experience positively is to meet someone who tells you your songs have really impacted me. I think one of my songs earlier on the first album was Fameye. And I met a young man who told me that he was contemplating suicide when he watched the video on TV, and it changed his life. And for me, that is the essence of what we are doing. That's the essence of what we are doing. And I think that when it comes to the challenge, the greatest challenge, one of the greatest, I used to view things as challenges, but I've come to realize that they were all just stepping stones for the Lord to move me into a different dimension of my life. So I won't call them challenges anymore. I don't.
But I just don't. I don't want to narrow it to you personally,
but generally, I think generally for us in Christian music ministry, it generally has to do with support, especially financially, because we spend so much in doing our productions, and by the time you finish, you don't even have any money to do promotions and all that. So if we can get some kind of support for people who have the funding to support our work, I think it will really, really help us to do more. You were talking about someone who stands by the flower or the river, or it's not for most of us. It's not lack of creativity. It's not lack of creativity, but it takes so much money to be creative to some extent. So if you can't, you just pay some 4K, and then you stand by at one spot. You hold a flower at one spot. You stand in the grass at another spot. You stand by the fountain at another spot, and you have a video. You'll be criticized for not doing a creative video, but the same people will not buy your work.
All right. We just have about 30 seconds. Sorry to go. Any number, social media handle we can get your new song.
At Eugene Zuta on all the social media handles. I'm fine.
Okay. What of your contacts?
The contacts, I think the one I'm supposed to give is escape me a bit. So if you go on there, we can get we can get interactive, and we can give you all information you need.
Okay. Thank you so much for passing through.
Thank you for having us.
And then
Silver Kruger on the track.